I died, choking on my own blood. The taste of betrayal as sharp as the knife my sister Jamie twisted into my gut. But that wasn't the worst part. The worst was her whisper, hot against my ear as the light faded. You should have just signed the check.
Kath.
50 grand isn't worth dying over. And then, nothing. Blackness.
Until now.
I jolted awake in my old queen-sized bed, the one with the faded floral duvet from IKEA that I'd hated since college. Sheets tangled around my legs like restraints from a past life. My heart hammered. Not from the dream, no. This was no dream. The calendar on my nightstand glared back. July 15th, 2018. 7 years ago. The day before the family reunion that would unravel everything. I sat up, gasping, my hands flying to my stomach. Smooth skin under the thin tank top. No scar. No phantom ache from the blade. But the memory burned fresh, the metallic tang, the gurgle in my throat. Jamie's manicured nails digging into my arm as she held me down. We'd been in the basement of our childhood home in suburban Chicago, the air thick with the scent of mildew and old grievances. It started over money. Always did with us. Mom's inheritance. A modest life insurance payout after her accident in the family SUV, $200,000 split between us 3 siblings. I got my share early. Invested it wisely in a small real estate flip that turned into a tidy rental property empire. Jamie? She'd blown hers on bad boyfriends and worse habits. Always coming back for more. That summer, she wanted $50,000 from my cut to start over. I said no. Not because I was greedy, God. No, but because I knew it was a black hole. And deep down, I suspected the money was tainted. Mom hadn't just crashed, she'd been pushed, metaphorically and maybe literally, by Dad's secrets. But they didn't know I knew. Or, at least, they hadn't then. I swung my legs over the bed, bare feet hitting the cool hardwood of my Lincoln Park apartment. The city hummed outside, horns blaring on Fullerton, the distant rumble of the L train. This was my life before the fall. 35. Single. Climbing the ladder at a boutique law firm specializing in estate disputes. I'd fought tooth and nail for every client, every win. Because family had taught me early that trust was a luxury I couldn't afford.
Now.
Reborn, or whatever the hell this was, resurrected by some cosmic joke, I had a second shot. Not to save myself, but to bury them. Starting with Jamie. I padded to the bathroom mirror, splashing cold water on my face. The woman staring back was me, but sharper, eyes haunted with foreknowledge. I remembered the reunion the next day, Aunt Rita's backyard barbecue in Oak Park. The air sticky with grill smoke and forced laughter. Jamie would corner me by the cooler, her bleach blonde hair frizzing in the humidity, pleading with those crocodile tears.
Kath.
Please.
For old time's sake.
Mom would have wanted us to stick together. And I'd cave. Just a little, offer $10,000. Maybe, but she'd push. And the argument would spill into the house. Drawing in Uncle Ted, Cousin Mark, the whole toxic clan. They'd label me the villain, the selfish lawyer hoarding Mom's blood money, while Jamie, this struggling artist, starved. By night's end, Dad would pull me aside, his breath sour with Bud Light, and hiss that I was breaking the family. That was the seed. Months later, when Jamie escalated, forging documents, siphoning from joint accounts, it culminated in that basement accident. She'd lured me there with a fake olive branch, a bottle of Merlot to talk it out, One glass in, the knife came out. Self-defense, she'd claim. The greedy sister attacked first. But I knew better now. As I dried my face, a plan flickered to life, cold and precise. First, document everything. I'd start with the inheritance papers, the ones I'd shredded in my panic last time. Dig into Mom's death, that drunk driving crash on I-90. Her BAC at 0. Brakes tampered. Dad's alibi? Fishing with buddies. But one of those buddies owed him money. The kind that vanished after. And Jamie? She'd been suspiciously flush post-funeral, buying that overpriced condo in Wicker Park before her funds dried up. The secret festered. Mom had discovered Dad's affair, his embezzlement from her small business, and threatened divorce. The crash silenced her. Jamie, ever the daddy's girl, helped cover it up, alibis, cleaned evidence. I'd uncovered fragments in my old life, right before they silenced me. Dressed in yoga pants and a tank, I brewed coffee strong enough to strip paint, the machine gurgling like my last breath. My phone buzzed, text from the past. Jamie, sis. Reunion tomorrow, can't wait. Bring your famous potato salad? Face blowing a kiss, I stared. Bile rising.
Delete. Block. Not yet. Play the part.
I typed back. Wouldn't miss it. See you soon. Let her think she had me. While she schemed, I'd scheme harder. Call my old contact at the CPD, the detective who'd dismissed Mom's case as accident. Coffee in hand, I scrolled through emails, bills, client queries, a reminder for the firm picnic. Normalcy cloaked the storm. By noon, I was at the public library on Washington, poring over microfiche for Mom's obit. Grainy print confirmed the date, August 12th, 2012. Tragic loss, it said. Bullshit. Next, the county records office downtown, forging a path through bureaucratic hell. I sweet-talked the clerk, old habits, into pulling the accident report. There it was, skid marks inconsistent, brake fluid low. Dad's signature on the release form. Jamie as witness. My hands shook, but not from fear. Rage. Pure and molten. This time, I'd build the case airtight. No rash moves. No self-defense outs. Evening fell as I returned home. Arms laden with takeout Thai, pad CEW. Extra spicy. Like the burn in my veins. I spread documents across the kitchen island, highlighter in hand, mapping connections. Dad's fishing buddy? Now a real estate broker. Peddling lies for commissions. Jamie's art career. A front for laundering Dad's ill-gotten gains. And me? The loose end they tied off too neatly. But resurrection wasn't mercy. It was ammunition. Sleep evaded me that night. Visions of a knife alternating with blueprints of ruin. Dawn broke, and I rose. Potato salad bowl in tow, mayo, Yukon Golds, a dash of arsenic-free relish. The reunion awaited. So did the reckoning. The drive to Oak Park was a blur of expressway angst. WBEZ droning about Cubs trades. Aunt Rita's colonial loomed, flags flapping in the breeze. Kids shrieking on the slip and slide. I parked, steeling myself. Jamie spotted me first, waving from the deck. Her sundress hugging curves bought on credit.
Kath.
Over here. Her hug was cloying. Perfume like cheap regret. You look great. Stressed, but great. I smiled.
Tight.
Long week. You? She launched into woes, gallery rejections, boyfriend drama, while I nodded, eyes scanning, Dad by the grill, flipping burgers with forced joviality, Uncle Ted nursing a highball, gossiping with Cousin Mark about family drama. Lunch unfolded predictably, plates piled high. Small talk laced with barbs. Heard you closed that big estate case, Uncle Ted said, winking. Must be rolling in it now. I shrugged. Pays the rent, Jamie chimed in. Too bright. Kath's always been the smart one.
Me?
Still chasing dreams. Laughter. But eyes on me. Weighing. Post-meal. As promised. She pulled me aside by the cooler. Condensation dripping like sweat. Sis. I need to talk. It's bad. The landlord's evicting me, $50K, would fix everything.
Just a loan.
From your share of Mom's money. Her eyes welled.
Practiced.
Last time. I'd softened. This time?
Ice.
Jamie?
No.
You burned through yours. This is mine earned.
Invested.
Her face crumpled. Then hardened. You're so selfish. Mom would have helped. The hook sank. But I was the fisherman now. As shouts echoed, family piling on, calling me cold, greedy, the fracture lines appeared. Dad's glare promised later words. I let it play, gathering fuel. By dusk, driving home with a Tupperware of leftovers, I knew the betrayal ran deeper than cash. It was blood. And I'd spill theirs, drop by drop, until the truth drowned them. The fallout hit like a Midwest blizzard, swift, unrelenting, burying me under drifts of isolation. Texts flooded in that night. Aunt Rita, how could you be so heartless? Blood is thicker. Cousin Mark, a voice note ranting about entitled millennials hoarding grandma's legacy. Dad's call came at 9 p.m. sharp. Voice gravel from smokes and spite. Catherine Marie, you've shamed us all. Jamie's your sister. Family sticks. I let him vent, recording every slur, every plea masked as threat. Come over tomorrow. We'll sort this.
Sort it?
Like sorting Mom's breaks? Sure. Dad. I murmured, hanging up with a click that echoed my resolve. Sleep was a luxury for the dead. So I worked. Laptop open. I cross-referenced Dad's financials, pulled from public SEC filings on his consulting firm, a shell for siphoning Mom's bakery profits. Patterns emerged, wire transfers to offshore accounts, timed post-crash. Jamie's name popped up twice. As beneficiary on a life insurance policy, Dad had snuck into Mom's docs. Coincidence? In my old life, I dismissed it as paranoia.
Now.
It was Exhibit A. By 2 a.m., I drafted an anonymous tip to the Illinois AG's office. Embezzlement. Fraud. Vehicular hints. No names yet. Just enough to stir the pot.
Send.
Then,
Adapte diva, Jamie socials.
Scrubbed clean in my timeline but ripe here. Posts from 2012. R.I.P. Mom, broken heart, driving safe now. Thanks Dad for the new wheels. The SUV. Her ride along that night. Morning brought coffee and confrontation. I drove to the old house in Berwyn. The bungalow sagging under vinyl siding and regrets. Dad answered. Apron dusted with flour, pancakes. His peace offering. Kath. Kiddo. The hug was stiff. His cologne masking BO. Jamie lurked in the kitchen. Eyes red-rimmed. Nursing tea. I didn't mean to blow up yesterday, she started. But I cut in. Save it. We're adults. Let's talk numbers. We sat at the Formica table. Ledgers out, my rental yields versus her debts.
See?
It's not greed, it's math.
Dad leaned in.
Paternal thunder. Math don't buy loyalty. Sign over the 50K, or you're out. No more holidays. No will mentions. The disowned threat, veiled as tough love. Last time, it gutted me. This round, I laughed. Low and bitter.
Do it.
Cut me loose. Their shock was dessert. Driving back, fury simmered to strategy. Controversial move 1. I called my firm's senior partner, feigned a conflict, and tendered notice. Family stuff, I said. Freedom meant flexibility, no ethics board breathing down for personal vendettas. Next, a PI, old college buddy, owed a favor. Tailed Jamie. Discreet. And check Dad's alibis from 2012. Cost, $5,000 upfront. Worth every penny. Evenings blurred into reconnaissance, staking out Jamie's Wicker Park walk-up. Noting her dates, shady types with neck tats, cash exchanges in alleys. One night, I followed her to a dive bar in Pilsen, eavesdropping as she bragged. Sis is stonewalling, but Daddy's got plans. She'll crack.
Plans.
Plural. My gut twisted. Had they plotted my death earlier last time? Weeks ticked by. The family frost deepening. Invites dried up. Mutual friends ghosted. Poisoned by whispers. Catherine's gone corporate cold, they'd say. Isolation chafed.
But it honed me.
I sold the Lincoln Park place, too exposed, relocating to a nondescript Logan Square loft. Cash under table. New name on the lease. Emily Hart, nod to Mom's maiden. There. Walls lined with evidence boards, timelines.
Photos.
Red strings linking lies. The secret nod. Mom's diary. Hidden in the attic last life. Detailing Dad's affair with his secretary. The loans that bankrupted the bakery. I'd retrieved a copy via the PI, pages yellowed. Entries frantic. He's stealing everything. Jamie knows, helps him. God help me if I fight. The crash followed days later. Twist of the knife. Jamie's pregnancy announcement on Facebook. Tagged blessed by Dad. Timing? Post-reunion. Pre-murder. She'd used the drama to leverage sympathy. Securing Dad's gifts. I seethed. Fingers flying to a burner email. Leaked snippets to her gallery contacts. Anonymous. Artists' family secrets. Fraud. Cover-ups. Backlash hit shows cancelled. Whispers of scandal. She texted my real number. Unblocked for bait. WDF Kath? This you? You're ruining me, I replied. Karma's a bitch. Sis. Delete thread. Block again. Dad escalated next, a certified letter. Formal disownment. Per your greed. Excluded from estate. Consider us strangers. Attached, a codicil. Jamie's sole heir. I framed it. Hung by my bed like a trophy. Controversial decision, too. I dipped into my inheritance, wiring $20,000 to a Cayman account, untraceable seed for the endgame. No more playing nice. This was war. Asymmetric and ugly. By fall. Leaves turning crimson like spilled blood. The crack showed. Jamie's boyfriend bailed, leaving her frantic, voicemails pleading. Kath.
Please.
Baby needs stability. I listened in the dark. Unmoved. The PI delivered gold. Audio of Dad at the bar. boasting to his buddy. Wife's payout set us up. Kid's too nosy. Might need another accident. My accident.
Proof.
I forwarded to the detective. Now intrigued. MS.
Hale?
This warrants a look. Hail, my maiden. Post-disownment armor. Winter loomed. Snow dusting the city, like cover. Family Christmas? Ignored invite. Instead, I hosted ghosts. Mom's photo on the mantle. Diary open. I'll make it right, I whispered. The fracture was complete. Now,
To shatter.
snow fell in fat. Unrelenting flakes as I pulled up to the old house on Christmas Eve. Uninvited specter in a black wool coat. Lights twinkled through frosted windows, casting warm glows that mocked the chill inside me. The PI's tape burned in my pocket. USB talisman. No more shadows, tonight. The blade turned. Controversial move 3. I'd tipped the press, a Chicago trib stringer. Hungry for suburb scandal. Family feud turns deadly. They tease tomorrow. But first, face-to-face Armageddon. The door cracked under my knock. Jamie's face paling in the porch light. Kath, what the, get out. She blocked the frame. Belly swollen under a festive sweater. But I shouldered past. Boots tracking slush. Merry Christmas. Family. Dad rose from the couch. Eggnog in hand. TV droning a Christmas story. The hell? We said strangers. Uncle Ted and Aunt Rita exchanged glances. Ornaments glinting like accusatory eyes. The tree loomed. Presents piled. Jamie's hall. No doubt. I didn't sit. Strangers deserve truths. Like Mom's. Silence dropped. Heavy as the snow outside. Jamie clutched a throw pillow. Don't start.
Not now.
But I did. Pulled the USB. Plugged into Dad's ancient laptop on the side table. Audio crackled. His voice. Slurred and smug. Wife's payout set us up. Kid's too nosy. Might need another accident. Gasps rippled. Aunt Rita's hand to mouth. Uncle Ted's drink spilling. Dad lunged. But I sidestepped. Voice steady. Sit. Or the trib gets it first. They sat. I paced. Spilling the rot. Mom's diary entries. Break tampering reports. Jamie's witness lies. You killed her. For money. For control. Denials erupted. Dad's bluster. Lies. She was drunk. Jamie's sobs. I didn't know. But her eyes darted. Guilty flicker. The secret unburied. Dad's embezzlement. The affair that pushed Mom to confrontation.
She found the accounts, I said.
Threatened exposure. You two staged the crash, Jamie distracting her. You at the wheel?
No.
Wait, the buddy drove. But you planned. The PI's dots connected. Tampered car from Dad's garage contacts. Aunt Rita broke. Is this true? Tom. Dad deflated. Whiskey breath ragged. It was Mercy. She was leaving. Taking everything. Mercy? Laughter escaped me. Jagged. Like my accident. Jamie's head snapped up. What? I leaned in. Close enough to see her pores. The basement. The knife. Your whisper. 50 grand isn't worth dying over. Her face strained. Realization dawning.
Kath.
You're crazy. That hasn't, but it had. In this timeline. Pending. The room spun into chaos. Shouts. Tears. Uncle Ted dialing 911. No. Wait. Family matter. Cops arrived. badges flashing in the holiday glare. Detective Ruiz. My contact. Lead. MS.
Hale?
We need to talk. Dad cuffed. Sputtering. Jamie wailing. My baby. I handed over the drive. Cool as lake effect wind. Start with vehicular homicide. 2012. Then fraud. As they loaded Dad into the squad car. Snow swirling like confetti for the damned. Jamie grabbed my arm, nails digging. Echo of the end. You bitch. This is your fault. I wrenched free.
No. Sis.
Yours. The night blurred. Statements at the station. Flashbulbs from late-night reporters. Inheritance feud turns homicide probe, screamed the headlines by dawn. I slipped out a side door. Uber to Logan Square. The city a whiteout blur. Home. I poured scotch, top shelf. Earned, and toasted Mom's photo. One down. But victory tasted ash. The betrayal's depth hollowed me. Sleep came fitful. Dreams of knives and crashes merging. New Year brought indictments. Dad charged with manslaughter. Embezzlement. Jamie. Accessory after. Her witness status flipped to conspiracy. Bail hearings turned circus. Family pickets outside the courthouse. Signs reading, "Free Uncle Tom. Justice for Jamie's baby." I testified. Voice unwavering. Laying bare the greed. The lies. Controversial decision 4. I petitioned for Jamie's unborn child's custody, not out of love, but to sever her lifeline. Unfit environment, my lawyer argued. Judge nodded. Temporary order granting me guardian ad litem. Her howls in the hall. You'll never take my kid, echoed my own death rattle. Spring thawed the ice. But not my core. The rental empire? Liquidated. Funds funneled to a trust for the baby. Ironic inheritance. Clean of blood. Firm? I started my own practice. Pro bono for wronged estates. Channeling rage to reform. Clients poured in. Widows gaslit. Heirs framed. Each wind chipped at the void. Jamie's trial loomed. Summer heat wave mirroring the pressure. She pled out, accessory. 5 years but appealed, painting me the monster. Vengeful sister destroys family, her lawyer spun. Public aided, op-eds decrying feminist overreach, my face on true crime pods as the greedy avenger. Dad's trial was the spectacle. October. Leaves dying as he took the stand. Catherine twisted it all. Jealous of Jamie. Jury didn't buy. Guilty. 20 to life. As gavel fell, our eyes met, his pleading, mine pitiless. For Mom, I mouthed. Prison vans swallowed him. The architect of fractures. But the antagonist's cunning lingered. Jamie, from county lockup, sent letters. You're next. They know your secrets. Secrets? Mine? The twist nod. What had I buried? In the rush of revenge. I'd overlooked my own complicity. Mom's crash night. I'd covered for Dad once, alibi call. Teen me loyal to lies. Guilt. Buried deep. Was this rebirth absolution, or deeper damnation? Summer waned. Baby due. Hospital vigil. Jamie in labor. Me in the hall. Social worker hovering. Her cries pierced. Pain. Not just birth. The girl emerged. Tiny fists flailing. Lily Catherine. Named unwitting after ghosts. Jamie signed over. Defeated. Take her. But you'll regret. I held her. Warmth cracking my frost. Revenge's climax, not destruction, but creation. Or so I thought. Lily's first cry shattered the sterile hum of the delivery room, a wail that hooked into my chest like the knife I dodged. I cradled her, swaddled in hospital blue. Her eyes, Jamie's eyes, blinking at the world with innocent fury. "Auntie Kath," the nurse said, clipping the ID band. "Auntie."
Guardian.
The weight settled, heavier than indictments or disownments. Jamie, pale and spent in the bed, watched us, for dripping like tears.
"She's all yours now."
Destroyed enough. No fight left. Revenge had hollowed her. Mirror to my own erosion. I nodded, throat tight. Get better, Jamie. For her, lies, perhaps. Or the first crack in my vengeance armor. Discharge papers signed. We left under fluorescent glare. Snow long melted into muggy August air. My loft transformed. Crib in the corner. Bottles sterilized on the counter. Sleepless nights blurred. Feedings at 2 a.m. Lily's gurgles chasing ghosts. The firm thrived. Headlines fading to footnotes. Hale sisters saga ends in prison. Custody. Public controversy simmered. Petitions for Dad's retrial. Family values rallies decrying my theft of Lily. Trolls dox my address. I moved again. To a secure Evanston brownstone. Security system purring like a watchful dragon. But the twist uncoiled slowly. Insidious as ivy. Letters from Jamie piled up. Forwarded from lockup. You think you won? Check Mom's real will. Dismissed at first, sour grapes. Then, a manila envelope. No return. Photocopies. Yellowed legal. Mom's estate addendum. Dated weeks pre-crash. To Catherine, full disbursement. Upon maturity. Trust clause. Expose family secrets or forfeit. Maturity? I'd been 28 then. Estate settled without it. Forged? No. Witnessed by her lawyer. The one Dad fired post-funeral. The secret. Mom knew my complicity. The alibi call. She'd hidden the bulk, $150K more, in a blind trust, keyed to confession. I'd gambled it away in my old life, blind to the hook. Guilt resurfaced. Title. Had I enabled the murder? My teen loyalty. Dad's whispers. Protect the family.
Kath.
I'd lied to cops. Buried doubts. Rebirth wasn't random, it was trial. Controversial decision 5. I hired the lawyer's widow. Piece the puzzle. Your mother suspected, she said over chamomile in her Hyde Park flat. Wanted you to choose truth over blood. The funds? Intact. $300,000 compounded. But to claim, public reckoning. Expose my role. Fall deepened. Lily teething with gummy grins that pierce my resolve. Dad's appeal hearing loomed November. Courthouse packed with supporters. I took the stand. Unbidden. I covered for him once. As a kid. Ignored the signs. Gasps. Flashes. But that ends today. The addendum presented. Trust unlocked. Juries saw cracks in the crown. Appeal denied. Dad's sentence ironclad. Jamie's letter shifted. Proud? You stole my life. Then, silence. Climax crested at Christmas. Lily's first. Tree trimmed solo. Lights twinkling on baubles I bought neutral, no family heirlooms. Doorbell chimed. I froze. Hand on the drawer, pepper spray. Not knife. Aunt Rita stood there. Bundled. Pie in hand. Truce. Behind. Uncle Ted.
Tentative.
The fracture mended?
No, scars.
We talked halting, regrets, Mom's ghost. We were blind, Rita admitted. Greed poisoned us. Lily cooed from her playpen. Bridge unintended. Twists full bloom, spring. Lily toddling. A package arrived, Jamie's. Paroled early for good behavior. Inside, a letter. Knife from the basement, cleaned, wrapped in newsprint. Kept it as reminder. Forgive. And a photo, us kids. Pre-fracture. Mom's arms around. I burned the blade in the sink. Flames licking steel. But kept the pick. Forgiveness?
Not yet.
But the win evolved, not destruction, but survival. I'd refused the $50,000, endured the disownment, unearthed the buried. Family? Fractured, but reforming on truth's terms. Years folded, Lily in preschool. My practice booming, advocate for the silenced. Dad died in custody. Cancer's quiet knife. Jamie? Vanished post-parole. Rumors of rehab in California. We wrote once. For Lily, clean start. No reply needed. Rebirth's gift. Not just revenge, but redemption's edge. I stood on the Evanston porch. Lake wind whipping. Lily chasing bubbles. Won, I whispered. But victory? Controversial still, greedy?
No.
Guarded. And that was enough. The end? Open. Like Chicago's endless skyline. Betrayal scarred. But I rebuilt. Stronger. Unbreakable.